Hey Colin, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thanks.
Excellent. Now I'd like to talk about the digital door knock. So
Sure.
for many, many years, real estate agents have been knocking on doors to introduce themselves as the local real estate agent, and to try and prospect, to try and win new customers. Now, you're adamant that this is going to be replaced by the digital door knock, which is going to be driven by some very good technology that sits on LinkedIn. So can you reveal all?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that digital door knock has really taken place of the leaflets in the letterbox and this kind of thing and the signs at the front of the houses. So people really are going to Google and they're searching for that agent's name, or they're searching for the agency's name, or even just an area like real estate agent in Melbourne, for example. And so what's happening when they're going and Googling, right at the top of that list or very high up, LinkedIn has really risen up. And probably one of the biggest things about LinkedIn of late is that it's just changed their interface. Like the look and appearance of LinkedIn has changed substantially. So not long ago, Microsoft bought LinkedIn, and LinkedIn already had a number of changes in place. But in terms of what you need to do to stand out or be great at LinkedIn, it has changed. And so look, I'd probably frame that in three separate areas. So number one is that it has actually gone, and LinkedIn's come out and said this themselves, it's actually gone for a Facebook look and feel. So Facebook's one of their biggest competitors in many ways. And so what that actually means is that buttons are in a similar position, the layouts are in a similar position, and they've focused a lot more on this concept of a feed. And so that's probably point two, is that the content or the feed, and people posting articles and posting videos and posting podcasts and posting great pictures on LinkedIn, the importance has grown substantially.
That makes sense to me. But what about this prospecting tool that you're adamant is going to save agents a lot of time, because you're going to be able to sit behind a desk and prospect digitally, which obviously is a lot more exciting and enjoyable than knocking on doors street to street.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is absolutely point three, is that LinkedIn advanced search or prospecting on LinkedIn. And so just how we all use Google today to find websites, LinkedIn is the ultimate way to find humans. So a big directory of people. So
imagine that I'm a real estate agent, I'm paying $0 for my LinkedIn subscription. How would I use it to build a prospecting list, Colin?
Yeah, so look, absolutely. So first thing is definitely have a great LinkedIn profile. So there's 8 elements we want to fill in to have a great profile. Number two is I would really know who my target audience was. So if I operated in South Brisbane, for example, and I would definitely know that most of my clients in the past might have been IT area accountants, lawyers, for example. I would go onto LinkedIn and I'd type in my area. So I'd put in Brisbane, and I would type in CEO or director or principal or MD, for example. And so these are all roles that we assume have got quite good salaries. And I might even focus on an industry. So I might go for a certain area. So that's the first thing.
And you can do all of this through the basic subscription.
Confirmed.
Right.
That's right. Yeah. And so so I'll type those few factors in. So let's just say I was focusing on lawyers in Brisbane. Let's just say that. And so I know there's about 700 roughly in that area. And so what LinkedIn will do is bring up a list of those 700. So I'll just have a big list of all their LinkedIn profiles in LinkedIn. And so the next step I'd do, if I was a real estate agent, I would 100% invest the time to research those people. So I'd learn about them, their background, their experience, their history, what football team they follow, how long they've been practicing for, are they part of a big firm, a small firm, are they family law or corporate law? And then I would absolutely, if I felt they were appropriate to my business, I'd hit that connect button.
Right, okay, got it. So I'm on a basic subscription. I've been able to get a list of potential people that I can connect with. I connect with them with a personalised email, and then what?
Yeah, so once they accept that connection request, there's 2 final steps. So number one is that I would definitely be sharing beautiful content with them. So I'd be sharing great success stories, information about the infrastructure in the area, myths. I'd be educated them on capital growth rates and equity,
Yeah.
this kind of thing. And the final one is, once they're connected with you, you get their email address, you often get their phone number. And so I would send them a message through LinkedIn or possibly email, or I may call and say, it's great being connected with you. I'm not sure if you're aware, but I'm a leading real estate agent with this agency. It'd be great to catch up for a coffee. How are you free for one of these times, Tuesday or Wednesday, near your office at 10 a.m, for example?
Got it. So your advice, your recommendation, Colin, is do not go straight in and say, can I connect with you? And I'm your local real estate agent. What you're saying is build rapport, start building a relationship, and then appropriately and subtly bring in the fact that you're the local real estate expert, and if I could be of any service to you. So that's your approach.
Yeah, look, perfect. Like, you never want to come across as that used car salesman. It's really important to personalise, and so I generally spend 120 seconds or 2 minutes researching every person. So if they've had an article, a post, a report come out, I might even have a property listing that's appropriate for them, so I might even share it with them. So like, I'll always make it as personal and as beautiful as possible, because I have to stand out in their email inbox, in their LinkedIn inbox, so I want to do a wonderful job.
Great, excellent. So that's really good. Now, recently I did a webinar for realestate.com.au, and a lot of real estate agents have emailed me and said, look, what I want to do, Steve, using LinkedIn, is I want to be able to laser in the suburbs that I actually buy and sell property. So my understanding is, if you want to do the digital door knock to that level, you're going to have to obviously upgrade from a basic subscription to a premium subscription. So how much does that cost, Colin, and is it worth it?
Look, in my humble opinion, it is an absolute no-brainer for real estate agents. So, look, $72.95 per month if you buy it monthly, and I think it works out to $450, $500 a year if you buy it as a 1-year subscription. But I'd recommend just starting off month to month, just to make sure you get value. And what I often do is, do 1 to 3 months and just hammer it for that time. But look, the massive benefit or advantage are these things. So number one, instead of me being able to connect with my second degree network, which is my friends of friends, I can connect, which is tens of thousands of people. I can connect with my third degree network, which is hundreds or millions.
Which is the friends of friends of friends.
Correct, So it might give you access to most of Australia. So that's a huge one. The other one is exactly what we're talking about, is these search filters. And so things like being able to see the suburbs, being able to see functional areas they work in, being able to see how senior they are, years of experience. So you get access to all of LinkedIn's kind of data, and so much so it'll actually serve you up people who show up in that group. So it'll serve you leads and say, because you connected with these 4 people, you should connect with these 4 people.
I see.
So it's become a really beautiful tool, like predictive tool.
So, I understand. So in summary, I'm a real estate agent. I operate in the western suburbs of Brisbane. By paying my subscription of $70 odd per month, what I can do is I can laser in on particular suburbs. That will give me a list of particular prospects, and then, as you described earlier on, make the connection, and then subtly introduce yourself as the local real estate expert. And look, we're not saying for 1 minute that means you don't have to physically walk the streets and knock on doors, but clearly if you master that and you master the digital door knock, you're going to be in a winning position. Would that be a fair summary?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Like, I'm a really firm believer. Like, I do have a magic number. And this magic number is 8. And what that means is how many touch points somebody needs to have with you until they're ready to take that next step. And so it may be a flyer in their letterbox, right? Or you might have knocked on their door, but through something like LinkedIn or Facebook or your website, or just, your local magazine where you're flicking through real estate listings, getting your hits up to 8, where they're at a point where they trust you, they know you, they believe you're good at what you do, and they actually want to take that next step to list their home with you or get an appraisal. That's the number in this type of market that I've seen is the most consistently true.
Excellent. Colin, always a pleasure. Thank you very much for your time today.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Pleasure.
Cheers.